Investigators say they are concerned about the level of violence in a weekend death, and a neighbor says she is haunted by it.
We are learning more tonight about the brutal attack that at this point is being investigated as a suspicious death. Sonia Sunger joins us in studio now with further details. Sonia?
Carrie, the victim died in hospital last night after being assaulted numerous times this weekend. I spoke to the victim's neighbor today. She says the 51-year-old woman showed up at her doorstep bleeding and looking for help.
I've been crying like ever since off and on.
Kimmy Fournier still can't believe her neighbor Marie is dead. It was only Sunday when the 51-year-old woman showed up on Fournier's doorstep, bloodied and beaten.
Her face was horrible. One side of her face was just all swollen. I don't even think she had an eye in this socket.
Fournier says Marie told her that she'd been held hostage and was beaten repeatedly over the weekend by other tenants in her rental home. Fournier says she was told the tenants were being evicted by the landlord, and apparently they blamed Marie.
They took her shoes and took her cell phone away on Friday, and the first opportunity she had to get away was Sunday before noon, when she came over here.
Fournier offered to call an ambulance but says Marie refused and wanted to go to a relative's house.
She was so scared of them people coming after her.
Fournier called her a cab. The woman ended up in hospital a short time later, where she died. But she wasn't the only victim. Police say a 23-year-old man who also lived in the rental home was assaulted on Saturday. He managed to get to hospital the same day.
I went to see him just before I got home here, and he's in pretty rough shape too.
Police aren't calling the situation a hostage taking, but say a number of assaults took place in the home this weekend and that the victims were afraid to leave.
The level of violence that's involved is very concerning to investigators. It's still early in the investigation though, so as new details become available, we'll be able to have a better idea of what exactly happened at the residence.
A 28-year-old man is now in custody. It provides this woman with some relief, but she still can't come to grips with the senseless act.
To beat her up that bad, you know, I just can't get the vision out of my head, the way her face looked.
Police are awaiting autopsy results before they lay charges against that 28-year-old man. Investigators say they are also questioning two women. Police confirmed that the victims and these persons of interest were all tenants in that same rental home, and they all, of course, knew each other.
Sonia, I understand that police were able to speak to the victim before she died?
They did, and they say that information has helped them a lot in their investigation. Officers also spoke to that man who is still recovering in hospital and say that information is also playing a key role in cracking this case.
Okay, Sonia, thank you.
You're welcome.